Well, hello and welcome. I am Tiffany Rashawn, the head Imagineering of Imagiread, and this is Imagireading today. I am in another secret location today. Actually, it's not so much of a secret. It's one of my absolute favorite campuses, so you might hear a lot of noise. There's students about. I am teaching today, and so I snuck in this little quiet little cubby to record today's edition of Imagireading today. As most of you know, some of you don't, Imagiread is a multi-dimensional family literacy platform. What we do on the platform is create and celebrate diverse reading experiences with today's family in mind. We do that by citing socially responsible literature and developing culturally authentic and appropriate literacy development programs. Part of the reason why I started the Imagireading Today channel was because there was something that I was noticing, a disconnect, if you will, between the classroom and the family. And so I wanted to bridge that gap as best as I could as an educator, as a storyteller, as a publisher, as everything that I am. And so that is why I'm the head Imagineering. That is what Imagiread does. And of course, that is the purpose of Imagireading today. Thank you so much for your positive feedback. I am overwhelmed by all of the comments and commentary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to continue to do this because the goal is to build and the goal is to build Imagireading minds. All right. So today's feature, let's go ahead and get right into it. Is in line, of course, with our Children in History feature. Remember, the feature itself is reviewing those who were children before they were leaders in Black history. Black history is, of course, a critical part of American history. Some say, and I'd have to agree, that it is actually all of American history because so much has to do with a lot of the leaders, educators, thinkers, doers, and beers of past time. And in order for us to get a really good glimpse on where we are today as a society, as humanity, we have to look at where we have been in terms of intellect. There's a lot happening in the world today, a lot of resources available to us, but there's still, like I said, a huge disconnect. And so that's one of the reasons why Imagiread is in place. And of course, Imagireading Today has come to be. So today's feature is right in line with that. It is Trey Jones. Look at Trey. Oh my God, Trey is so cute. I am Trey Jones and I Know It. Written by Monica Mathis-Stowe. Illustrated by Nada Serafinovic. Nada, I'm sorry. I hate butchering names. I do apologize. I thought I had it together before I recorded. If you guys don't know who Monica Mathis-Stowe is, again, Google her. She is a phenomenal writer. I was hooked on her adult fiction books ever. What seemed like forever. She brought the first one out. It was phenomenal. And then she brought the second one out. And next thing I know, she was writing children's literature. So I was like, Monica, I have to feature your work, partly because I absolutely love children's literature that has young Black males in them as the feature. When I teach, what I notice in my young African American males is that they gravitate towards literature that has characters in them like this. That's another reason why Imagiread is what we are today, because we cite that socially responsible literature so that we can be culturally appropriate. That's one of the big differences in teaching children to read, what you teach them to read with. So I was overjoyed to read and review I Am Trey Jones. And because we have two, I am a rapper and I know it. Now, any other time, I'd say, okay. And you have to understand, you guys may not know this about me, but I absolutely love hip hop. It was Jay Dilla's birthday just the other day. Detroit stand up, but this was so cute. So as usual, I'm going to go ahead and get into the first couple pages. I'm not going to tease you guys. I'm not going to give you both. I Am a Rapper and I Know It. I would highly recommend all of the Trey Jones series. But this I Am a Rapper and I Know It, because of the rhyme, because of the way the rhymes come together, because of the way Trey pulls those together. Perfect read. Absolutely perfect read. So let me go ahead and get into I Am Trey Jones and I Know It. watch out for what I do on the supplement on this one, because this is another key point that you can totally teach literacy and all 5 of the functions of literacy in it. All right, so here it is. Today was the first day of school for Trey Jones. When he stepped off the school bus, children big and small were everywhere. Trey couldn't wait to meet his teacher and make some friends. When Trey entered his classroom, his teacher, Mrs. Perkins, gave everyone a name tag. One girl cried and said it ruined her brand new polka dot dress. Trey thought she was a real drama queen, just like his big sister. So far, Trey liked first grade. He was assigned a desk in the front of the room that allowed him to see everything. Some of the other kids weren't so lucky. They couldn't see too good because they got stuck behind the big kid. They had to turn their heads and twist their necks to see. "Welcome to first grade," Mrs. Perkins said with a bright smile. "When I call your name, please come to the front of the room and introduce yourself." The big kid raised his hand and asked, "How do we do that?" "Well, when you introduce yourself, you tell a little bit about you so people can get to know you better," Mrs. Perkins explained. That's it. Now, you probably have a pretty good idea where this is going, because I wish I could have showed you Trey's facial feature on that particular scene, but I can't. I highly encourage you to pick up all of the Trey Jones books, all of them. They are absolutely delightful. These are the types of children that are changing the world for the better. And so in order for our children to do that, they need to read about more children who have the boldness, the audacity, and the authenticity to do that. And that's what Trey has. That's what he has. So as usual, I have a lovely supplement for you. I have where you can get a copy of the book, and I have more information about Monica Mathis-Stowe and her endeavors in the literary world. I do appreciate you tuning in. Stay tuned. We have so many books. As usual, if you need assistance, a personal lesson with this, you have a struggling reader or otherwise, please feel free to contact me at Tiffany, Tiffany, at Imagiread, Imagiread.com, and I'll be more than happy to assist. And so that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, have an imaginative day.